What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? Phil Rogacki here with Two Tree Guy Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the love. Appreciate all the support and the follows and the text and everything on this. We're bringing you another episode today, and this episode is on gear talk, man. I'm telling you, it's more and more people are requesting gear talk. There's so many new products in our industry that are coming out that you just don't know. New products at trade shows, new products that no one ever heard of from different countries that are finally making it over to the United States that's maybe been around for a long time. But if you guys are first-time listeners, we have many different episodes in the Two Tree Guy Podcast. You know, we have What's Your Story? Bringing industry badasses in, talking about how they got in the industry, talking about mentors and people that have directed them towards a certain way to have them where they're at today. We have our safety talks, talking about incidents in the industry, you know, the good, bad. How do we prevent these? How do we make our industry safer? You know, our industry is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. People die doing this every day. People get hurt. How do we save future lives out there? And some of the tips that we can share from the industry experts can help us and maybe redirect you or make you think twice before doing something. Then we have our training talks, bringing individuals in and talking about training. You know, there's not enough training out there, and you can never train too much. There's always something to learn. There's always new innovations and always something to get better out there. And then we have our full length. If you guys are in California, you want a cold beer, you want to sit in the studio and laugh, we'll make fun of Jared. It's awesome. You guys got to come have a full length episode when you're coming out to the academy to do some training out there. But we have Andy and Thomas from Rooted Arbor Care from O'Fallon, Missouri. Hometown here, right? St. Louis. This is my first time in St. Louis.
Hey, welcome.
First time in St. Louis. Yeah. Oh, man, it's beautiful. They're like, don't go right, but you can go left. Yeah, only right. Between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock when the sun's high, you know.
You got a 600-yard radius.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. But, man, looking at this town, you know, I walked down by the river this morning, Jared and I, and beautiful.
That's
I mean, I know. He wasn't holding my hand. He was holding my pocket. Prison rules. No.
Pride Week was like only 3 weeks ago. So
was it? See, he must have been here. So I just, whatever. You know, walking down and seeing the buildings and the things that are made here. I mean, it's men and women of America built this, and it's just blood, sweat, and tears you see in every single frickin' brick. I've never seen so many bricks in my entire life here.
There used to be more. They're falling in.
You know, it's sad. It really is. It's sad to see this, but I'm gonna explore St. Louis tonight. You know, maybe to 5 a.m. or something. And
City Museum.
Take
the team. It's awesome.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Fun. It's like a giant, high-rise sculpture park playground. Yeah, giant playground.
Okay.
For adults.
City Museum.
Yep.
Cool.
It's really close.
Cool. What's your favorite restaurant here?
Salt and Smoke for me.
Salt and Smoke.
Stefanina's Pizza. If you like St. Louis real stuff, real pizza.
You like the flat stuff.
Real pizza.
It's,
Has what's his name
from
One Bite been here? Dave from Barstool Sports. You ever see Barstool Sports?
I haven't. I don't have a TV.
Oh,
so
shit,
like,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Man,
I'm a tree guy.
Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Okay, One Bite. Dave Portnoy, I think is his name. Barstool Sports, huge. He just sold the company for $500 million. He bought it back for $1. Bought it back for $1 from them because they went a different way, and they sold it back to him for $1.
Sold him the rights.
Really cool. But he has this thing called One Bite. Travels all over America. You know the rules. Takes one bite, scores the pizza. So it'd be interesting if that pizza place is cool.
It's got to be fresh. It's all Provel cheese. Totally different take on pizza. It's thin crust, but it's not crispy.
Okay,
So it's got to be fresh.
Okay. That's
Pretty
good. Well,
I want to know, how long did it take you to memorize that entire intro?
That intro, it changes every time. Everybody's listening to it, and if you're a fan on the show, it changes all the time.
Yep.
I don't know. Sometimes I forget to say it. I'm like, shit. Then, you know, the one thing I forgot, guys, you know the feed. All right, you're listening to the show. You're getting something out of it. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a jerk. Don't take it for yourself. Don't be selfish. Pass it on. You're gonna hear. Share it. Pay the fee.
Yep.
That's it. Share it. That's all we ask out here. But you're gonna hear some good talk today. We're gonna be talking about, is it time for battery? That's the topic of
Yes.
today. Andrew, Tom, why do you have Tom? Oh, Thomas. I'm like,
It's
oh
Thomas.
shit. I'm like,
he
Thomas.
was
I'm
trying
like,
to be mature. and
yeah,
weird.
Andrew, Tom. Okay, you
Yeah.
guys threw me
Oh,
off, and I got
that is
Andy
good.
and Thomas here.
Yep,
so
yep.
you wanted to be okay.
No.
You guys threw me off there.
That
But-
is weird that you have your short name on your
Yeah.
tag. I have my full name.
And then
on
you guys
mine.
switched it
Yeah,
around here.
yeah.
Really messing with me here.
It's
All right.
intentional.
Oh,
Pay
I
the
appreciate it. Pay the fee. Pay the fee. But you guys have you guys are presenting on the main stage this week. You're doing classroom training also, right? For that, and we're going to dive into some of the things that you guys have prepared for and what you guys are talking about, and we're going to put it out to the world, man.
for
So
sure.
dive
Yeah, we're
in. Let's
excited.
do it, man. What do we got?
So I would say we'll start with the battery OPE piece. It's a project we took on for TCI Magazine. We didn't have any real intent to battery is the way to go. We didn't know. We had very minimal experience. We just started sending some emails out to all the TCI partner companies that make battery products like Still, Husqvarna, Milwaukee, Echo, Greenworks. And they all, if they wanted to participate, they sent us stuff and we played with it. And our outlook on the products has changed.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you were going to write an article for the magazine.
Right.
You guys weren't dabbling in power saws at all. I mean,
It'd been
Battery
probably
saws?
5 years since we run a battery saw.
Yeah.
And that
Okay.
was at the zoo.
so you're like, all right, we're going to write an article. Let's do a little research and development and figuring this shit
a
out.
lot of
and-
R&D.
yeah.
A lot of R&D.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we come from pretty much solely using all gas powered equipment. You know, whether it was blowers, chainsaws, even down to drills, like when we're putting cables in trees, gas powered drills.
Yeah.
So
You guys
that's our
have
background.
let's say a clean palette. You know, you're not swayed any certain way getting this. So I'm actually excited now to hear more about this because you weren't swayed. It wasn't like, hey, I've used Still for the last 5 years, and okay, I'm going to test these out. But you're so used to that product, it just sways you. So you're starting on an even playing field with these products.
Well, honestly, the truth is we probably had some bias against battery. I don't know why. Maybe just a preconception that it wasn't going to perform just because our initial experience. I mean, it was years ago. We're talking Husky 3 or what is it, the 535i, years and years ago. So nothing close to now. But it was just we try to do a feature piece for the mag each year that we have to do a deep dive with several manufacturers, and honestly, it's because we just want free gear.
So send it to them, guys. Rooted. We'll
Pay the
put
fee.
their pay the fee.
So we want to test some stuff out
Yeah.
and see what products we like for us and our guys, and that's where it comes from. And if we can have some say in what's manufactured or how it's manufactured, all the better, because ultimately we want to be better practitioners, and we can't do that without the right tools.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. So let's go through this process of the whole thing from start to finish,
For
and I
sure.
want to know what came out of it at the end. I mean, we got a few people sitting here listening in, so either they're swaying you to say a certain thing here, or
I think they're curious. I think
they're
yeah.
curious.
So
Do they know the outcome?
Nope.
I'm pretty open with everybody.
Yeah,
so I
good.
would say if people
Yeah.
don't know, they haven't listened.
Well, good. This
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
show's a no bullshit type of show.
There you
So
go.
if the product sucks, we're going to tell you it sucks. If it's great, we're going to tell you it's great. If
I
there's
gotta be a
improvements,
little more
improvement.
careful.
Oh, okay. Well,
just
I don't have
you
to
don't
be.
have to be.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
because some of it's not. I gotta wait till it's all out published
Okay.
before there's any bias shown
Okay.
to an extent. But I can say individual items for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
no. I would say overwhelming.
We're not
like,
painting with a broad brush.
Yeah.
We're going more specific.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and we don't have any financial gain from
Nope.
any of the companies. We're not partnered with them. We're not ambassadors or anything like that. So it's just straight opinion. And sometimes our opinions doesn't coincide with what we personally like with what we provide for the company.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
factor.
just there's different factors for
good.
sure. So I would say if you wanted to just listen to the 5-second spiel about it, is battery's good, it's here to stay, and it's coming in a bigger way. That would be the short end.
That sounds like a country song.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, we got trucks, trains, incest.
Wait, how'd you just say that? Say it again?
I don't even know.
Oh, man,
I'm
that
like
was
a
good. All right,
jingle,
I'll
I'm a
listen
jingle
back.
maker. I'm
That was a jingle.
maker.
That was
Yeah. What's your favorite jingle?
The one I just made up. Right? I don't know.
That's it. Pay the fee.
I got a really good one for a manufacturer to use here soon. We just got to see if they have the
funds?
the nuts to pull it off, to
Okay.
say it.
Okay.
I might drop it later on. We'll
All
see.
right. All right. Let's see at the end. Maybe you end
Yeah.
the show with it.
There
How
we
about
go.
that?
There we go.
The jingle. Okay, I'll
The
remind
jingle.
you of that. So let's go through the product testing. All the saws
Gotcha.
came. Out of how many people did you reach out to? Roughly.
6 or 7.
How many
companies.
people got back to you and sent you something?
5.
5. Who was the company that didn't?
Greenworks.
Greenworks. Why is that?
Well, I signed an NDA for Greenworks. This is a full sum. I have no idea why. We were in heavy talks, so I knew kind of what was coming. My guess is they had some fear that we were working with so many other companies, even though we signed NDAs.
I mean, can't you just go buy the saw and use it if you wanted to test it?
Well, we knew what was coming before it was coming, type thing. They wanted to talk. So a couple weeks ago, they launched their new 70cc battery.
Yeah.
I haven't used it, but I knew about it before it was launched. I signed an NDA, so I heard all about it. We were supposed to get hands-on, and they pulled plug towards the end, so we didn't actually use their stuff.
Come on, Greenworks.
I'm thinking it's more of a we're getting ready to release it. Do we trust this guy that we don't know not to share it with these other 5
I see
companies?
that.
It's a bargaining chip. That's my assumption. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You know what? I see that. You got a new product coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe afterwards you can add that too and say, all right, we're going to
I
add
missed
this
the
too.
deadline. It's already published.
Oh, shit.
There was
Greenworks,
no
you missed out.
Greenworks
Could have
pictures.
sold out. Could
It
have
was
sold a
the-
bunch of saws.
And TCI Mag cover story November.
Oh.
No Greenworks photos.
Wow.
None.
Yeah. Damn it. Damn
Yep.
it, Greenworks.
Too bad.
Okay, so you got 5 products that came into you.
Yep.
Okay.
5 brands, way more products than that. though.
Okay, 5 brands. Let's go through them. Let's go through how'd you guys start testing them? What'd you look at? Why did you put, hey, here's how we're going to rate them? Let's go through all that.
You know what's crazy is, like, I mean, we're gonna have different opinions of what we like, but we
Yeah.
didn't really have like a rating system. It was pretty quickly. Is this production ready? If not, we didn't invest much more time into it. It was pretty quick.
It was yes or no on some saws.
Like, yeah, I just don't like it. Do you like it? We'll see. So, like, rating wise, what would you say? What was the first one you used? You're like, no way. No thanks. Or do you not want to say that?
You can say whatever you want, man.
No, yeah.
This,
no, I
the,
think-
our, the manufacturers out there need to hear this.
Yeah,
for
you know?
sure.
I think when I break a saw down, I'm like, what is this designed for? What's it gonna actually fulfill its purpose? Why was it created?
Mhm.
And how is it best gonna suit me for the task that I'm using it for? So I'm a little bit more individualistic. I'm not gonna just say, oh, all these saws
Yeah.
in this category are A or B.
Yeah.
So I like to kind of approach it and be like, hey, is this going to do the best job for me at trimming a tree? Is this going to do the best job for me at taking a tree down, you
Mhm.
know, full removal
Yeah.
scale? So it's a little bit more of a selection process of a tool that's designed for what it was created for. And
Yeah.
kind of break it down.
And
in my
I
mind.
have an entirely different approach. That's what's kind of unique. I'm looking at it from big picture R&D, and if I had a larger company, so we're 4 guys, 4 arborist type guys, sometimes 6. So we can pick and choose the best of each brand if we want to, and we're not worried about having a fleet to maintain.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at it from the R&D perspective for the magazine, I'm not writing what I like. I'm writing what the industry needs or what fills the most, like what checks the most boxes. So I'm viewing it through that lens because I feel like to be a good R&D'er, I need to give
Good.
that manufacturer a no BS assessment of where their tool's at. So they trust me, and then they're going to reward me with more product and more opportunities to excel. And so
Good.
the best part, though, since we're partnered on it, we can really tailor on what we prefer personally while I'm still working on like the broader scope. So
Got it.
it's kind of a comprehensive process.
Okay.
Yeah, so as far as saws go, if we're just diving into the specifics,
Yeah.
like I think one of the best battery operated trim saws, in my opinion, is the Echo.
You hate it?
He hates it. He hates it. And
Why?
I love it. It's so light. It does not have the power that he thinks it should have. But for me, I'm not taking it up to take a tree down. I'm going up there to do
Yeah.
fine pruning cuts. Now,
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
here's the
that's
thing.
my opinion.
I'm
That's
the world's biggest champion of the Echo 2511T gas
That's
saw
a
for
great
the last
saw.
7 years. When it first came out, I
Phenomenal.
was, this is great. Everyone's like, you're stupid. No, this is
Yeah.
the best. We ran the balls off it. We
Yeah.
couldn't, we bought new ones each year. Sorry. We constantly were trying to get it. We couldn't kill them. So we have new ones in boxes. And I was begging Echo for the battery. They kept saying, it's coming, it's coming. I see it in Europe. Where's it at, guys? We'll get it to you as soon as we can. They finally get it to us. And I'm like, this is what I waited for 2 years of delays. This is a piece of trash. Maybe I was just angry
Yeah.
because I thought it would be as good as my favorite saw of just a battery
It's
version.
like that movie that you're waiting out. Oh, it'll be out in 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm so excited. And then you
Yes.
finally watch it. You're like, what?
It's like the new
This
Avatar.
sucked. Yeah.
You waited 13 years and like, are you kidding me?
13. This is the shit you bring us?
No, yeah.
This is it?
I'm sure it's a pretty good saw in its own right, but the level, it's kind of like meeting your hero and you're like, this is a fat loser. He's a prick.
And sometimes you got to come back and try it again. You know, at some time you go, you know what? Let me give it a second look. Let me try it one more time, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the ergos on it are great. The weight's great. I just wanted it to be a replication of what they did. So,
which it's not.
Yeah, inverse.
And I'll admit that as a guy that really loves it.
Yeah, my thing is like I use the Husqvarna 540i, right? That's really, really similar to their gas saw in performance. Really close. Ergos are great. There's a few things, but overall it's phenomenal. Why is the Echo from gas to battery like worlds apart? That's an issue. Why is all of Echo's outdoor power equipment running up to 7 amp hour batteries, but with their trim saw, they only allow you to use one 2.5 amp hour battery? The moment you put it in wood over 4 inches, you're done. That's a problem. It's a very specialized tool, yes, but there's no versatility. And for a fleet, so from where I'm looking at as an R&D guy, why am I going to buy this beautiful lightweight saw for fleet guys that are not going to take care of it and they cannot serve multiple roles? It's a one-trick pony. It's a 3-inch. So if you're just trimming pin oaks, or whatever you're trimming, as strictly a pruning tool, great. But the gas-powered pruning tools, perform well in all settings. So
good.
That's my issue with it.
I like it.
Sorry, Echo. I love you, just not that one.
Yeah, there you go. Echo, get shit together. Let's
Right.
bring them something else and let them not wait 2 years.
Yeah, no
Andy
more
doesn't wait 2
7310
years.
crap. Yeah.
So, all right, let's keep going on these saws.
Next brand, what do you want to hear? Still, Husky, Echo.
Let's do Steel.
I already said Echo. Yeah, Steel. MSA 220. It's just like the 201 in weight,
ripping saw,
power. It's amazing for 6 minutes.
Yep.
6 minutes.
Battery life,
Trash.
not great.
Trash.
It's
So
kind of a bummer.
people say you can prune all day. You can make 1,000 cuts in 2 inches of wood. That's great, but I'm not carrying an 11-pound pruning saw. I'll use the freaking little Echo if that's all I'm using for it. So it's phenomenal, but you put it in 12 inches of dry dead ashwood, you got 6 cuts. That cannot happen in a $800 11-pound saw. Cannot happen. I would rather use a $340 194 that'll run circles around it. I keep touching the table, guys. I'm sorry. For the
You guys are hearing the bumps.
Bum, 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 bum.
He's
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah,
He's pissed at you,
I'm
Echo.
PO'd. Well,
Man.
and still, like, come on, like this saw, it looks great. And the biggest thing, and you can talk to August, talk to all the other guys. Why the hell, if I'm looking at my notch, trying to make sure I dial in my notch when I'm up in the tree, if I don't pull that trigger within 1.6 seconds, do I have to chain brake, turn it off, turn it back on, disengage the chain brake before I can cut again? It resets and it kicks you out for safety. Ridiculous. It's dangerous.
That was my biggest gripe with that saw. The electronics in the handle was just like, what is it on? Is it off? Is it just in standby mode? I had no clue. I mean, like, they have a manual for it, but sometimes you wouldn't be able to reactivate the chain unless you pull the battery out and then put it back in.
So you're up there pulling batteries out and stuff like that.
You want to talk about throwing a saw? I threw it.
Yeah.
I threw it 30 feet.
Did it survive?
I don't know. It's been sitting in the bottom of our box with the chain off it for the last 6 months. I mean, it's a beautiful saw. It's made well. The material, the fit and finish is great.
Yep.
It's just like a 2-on battery. But there's like a little demo. If I'm back barring and I'm getting ready to blow a top and I get my 45 in, or maybe I'm doing a Humboldt and I just want to take a quick peek to see where I am to make sure I'm matching, I'm not exaggerating, 1.5 seconds. And if you're off the trigger for 1.5 seconds, you have to restart the whole process.
Which could be dangerous because then guys they're going to want to actually hang on to the trigger while they're just to get that time.
Yeah, they're going to rev it out. If you're doing that, you might as well run a gas
instead
saw.
of 6 cuts, you get 2 cuts?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can go eco mode, but it's just not what it should. They rushed it because they were behind. All the stuff happened in California, and they're like 50 cc's in January 2024, 50 cc's and below, it's gone. So they're like, crap, we probably should have followed Husqvarna's lead 6 years ago, but they didn't. Yeah. So now they're eating it. They're eating it, and they're way behind. And now all the other states are jumping on the bandwagon, and they got to recover. They have the budget to recover, but will they do it? I don't know.
I like it. Maybe they need to get you guys on the team.
Yeah. I mean, we use all steel gas saws professionally. I don't prefer steel. I prefer Husqvarna usually, but Still delivers with availability, and they have plenty of silversmith mechanics everywhere. I can get service. That's where they win on that market. But their battery stuff, they got a long way to go. Now, small exception, their battery pull saw, excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Good.
Fits in a ladder box, which is
Yep.
huge.
Smart.
Yeah, it's a big one. So that's
This
all
is
phenomenal.
this information you're giving. This is good stuff. I mean, this is real testing.
Yeah.
Not influenced by anybody. Clean slate, bringing this product in, testing out, seeing how well it bounces off the ground at 30 feet, and testing it and giving real truth on this. This is where products get better because
it's our
of you guys.
livelihood.
so.
We need it
Yeah.
to perform
Yeah.
so we can make more money longer.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what we're trying to do. We're just
Yeah.
trying to push the industry forward, and anything that we can give, little critiques that we have along the way, because I mean, we've come a long way with battery stuff. Any little thing that we can do to help kind of push that in the right direction is a win for everybody.
And you'll be surprised how many people are listening.
That's the
And you
thing.
don't even know they're listening. They're all listening.
And if we're having these experiences, we know that the vast majority of other users are finding
Yeah.
something similar. They just don't have the ability or the platform to say
Yeah.
something. They don't
Yeah.
have the ear of the manufacturer.
Which is why
So-
we love your show.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fee, pay the fee, pay the
fee.
fee. Which is one of the best things about this process. I will say, to most of these companies' credits, and some better, some more than others, they've been pretty darn receptive to the real
Mhm.
feedback.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
They don't want,
They
a
wanna hear
candy
it.
coated thing. They want the real thing. Now, I will say, different companies
Uh-huh.
they have different levels of access to their product managers. Some of them, they want you to submit questions and wait 2 weeks to get a canned response. That's crap.
Mm-hmm.
But other than
That's
that,
on them though.
no, yeah. But overall, I feel like it's been a really cool experience engaging with the different manufacturers for sure.
Yeah.
So that, I guess, the next one, we want to cover Husky or Milwaukee. Your pick. Which one
Let's-
first?
Let's do Husky.
Husky. First thoughts.
Ooh, wait.
That's a
If
bad
you guys are
bump.
watching the video on YouTube, and I forget, guys, we got YouTube. You watch these videos.
This
you
is
can
my
see the
bad
face.
side.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, hit the fee.
That's right.
And you made a face
Yeah.
and a noise.
It's a pretty wicked saw.
Which
Yeah.
saw? You just said
Oh,
brand.
and I thought we were kind of
The
covering
the
top
540i.
handle
We're talking about all battery we
Yeah.
use. 540i
Yeah.
top and rear.
Yeah, their top handle saw is pretty
It's
bad
awesome.
at the moment. It's probably the best.
It's the best top handle in the world,
as
gas
far
or
as
battery.
power. Yeah.
Gas or no, not power, but
Well,
overall.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
Still and the Milwaukee will
What do you like
outperform
about
that
it?
Cut.
Ergonomically, it's
Mhm.
great.
Phenomenal.
They've always been really good about their ergonomics with Husqvarna, in my opinion. But when it came out, the balance, it just feels right in the hand. It some battery powered stuff is a little clunky. You get it up there and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure, how to
where
hold this.
go.
But with the Husqvarna, they got it right. They nailed it as far as being able just to line up your notches, be able to know exactly what your bar's doing, where it's at, while you're operating.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. We've heard horror stories of the battery years ago. Since we've run it the last year heavy, we've never experienced that. Maybe that was earlier edition. So we don't have the negative feedback for that
Yeah.
portion. I've also heard guys with huge hands can't use the Husky.
Really?
I guess it's a narrower grab on the ergos, which is why most people
wouldn't
like the
know.
ergos. Yeah, there you
know,
go.
I wouldn't
say.
know.
So
Big hand.
Yeah.
Big
personally,
glove.
Yeah, just
Maybe.
to show that there's no bias. I think, at least historically, I really disliked Husqvarna top handles.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rear
Oh,
handle,
yeah.
I dislike the top handles.
Historically.
But I love the 540i. I haven't had the issues.
Yeah.
I feel like balance weight, it's right in that sweet spot, around 7-ish pounds. Almost as much power as the Still, but sustainable power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the big one. Even down to like the lanyard attachment systems are phenomenal
Yeah.
on it. So you can get it to sit on the saddle great. The chain brake's really responsive. The chain tensioning system needs a little work, but for the most part, it's great, especially in the 12-inch bar varieties. Like for me, I think you two, we're short bar guys for top handles.
Yeah.
Use a rear handle when you get in a big wood. It's better. But it's awesome. It's the best top handle in the world.
So where did Husqvarna go right with the R&D and their team? Do you guys did any research on the back end part? Who'd they bring on?
Yeah.
Consult with?
So we didn't have anything to do with the production of this saw. I wish. I know they had a lot of people on there for a long time. I know like Chainsaw Meg, Tobias was on there for a long time. I can't think of Tobias. No, that's from the movie. Tobias from Charlie. He's a country climber. Been with
Yeah.
Husky for a long time. I'm sure. I can't think of it. Steamer, whatever her name is.
Well, I got a gentleman I got to introduce you to if you'd like
Yeah.
to saw David Perkins. You guys
Oh
know?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they went right. I think the big thing is they just started working on this years and years ago.
Yeah.
Well, ahead of everybody else. So they should be, not counting like your Milwaukees and your Makitas and the traditional battery people. the old school Orange 3 battery's pretty new, so they should be a generation ahead, which they are. So other than some logistics issues, especially during COVID, they've been delivering on this saw. And the rear handle is just as special as the top handle. I mean, it's an undersized, underpowered saw for some applications, but for traditional limbing and bucking for a groundy or in tree use, it doesn't weigh a thing.
Yeah.
And it's so consistent.
Great for crane work.
How long does the battery last on that?
I don't have good enough. It's so variable, but I mean, I've never had
good
battery
enough
issue.
to where you're not complaining about.
Good
it.
enough where you're rotating battery and it's charged, ready to go.
If you have a spare battery, just switch it out.
The thing about all the battery, Husqvarna does a great job of this. When you're training new guys, it's super, super easy to replicate the cut. So with Husqvarna and Milwaukee are probably my favorite ones with it, where like they have variable chain speeds with the trigger that you can dial, you can control it, you can find it. So Husqvarna is like 5 different chain speeds, Milwaukee's like 7 different chain speeds. So if I'm cutting, I can really feather my cut, and the moment I come off that trigger, it slows down almost immediately. So if I'm seeing curve close when I'm bucking a log, I can get out of there quickly. And then when I'm teaching a guy to cut, he's not thinking about the variability of, is this saw running hotter than normal, or is it have an idle issue? They're just cutting because battery is going to perform the same every single time. So the only variable they have to think about is the actual material they're cutting. So it's an easy thing to train. And safety wise, for the most part, when you come off that trigger, it's going to stop, or at least dramatically slow down quick. So whether you're wearing protective garments or not, I just think it's safer. And then ergos in tree.
Yeah.
The first 2 weeks we did it, we kept catching ourselves trying to pull start a saw. Like,
I was like, damn, push a button.
this is amazing.
It's true.
You can talk on your comms over it, no issues.
Yeah.
So Husqvarna being a leader out there, in the battery world, are they bringing any new innovations to their saw? I mean, they've been running it.
Yes.
You seen any changes?
One we can talk about is the clutch version of the 540i. That's here at Expo. You can use it in the test booth.
Big.
It's a pretty nice adjustment. It's going to have some better power performance in the bigger wood, and also some safety issues with chainsaw protection. Disclaimer, just so I get ahead of this argument, chainsaw protection will stop battery chainsaws. Just put that to bed. That's ridiculous. I'm so tired of hearing that. Oh,
Where'd that come from?
People just say that because they would say battery is not safe. It's not true.
Yeah, last year at Charlotte,
All the
we had
time.
a lot of people asking
Really?
about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we did a chainsaw pant piece, but even now, people are
Yeah.
getting it all the time. Well, it's not UL rated. There's no UL testing for battery chainsaws. It's just chainsaws. They're all the same. Electric corded chainsaws are a little different.
I'm
But
glad you put that to bed.
yeah,
Done.
you got to put it to bed. I will say I don't know much about new innovations with saws yet because they're pretty close-lipped because it's a pretty big deal. They are starting to expand their battery lineup outside of just saws. So like they have a pole saw that's pretty darn good. Their blowers I haven't used, but I hear they're pretty good. The hedge trimmers are really, really good. The handheld, I haven't used any extension pole trimmers, but their handheld trimmers have been great. And they just launched today an ascender like the Ronin or the Raptor, things like that. But it's lighter weight and it has a remote control. So
Did you try it?
I have
Not,
not-
we were supposed to use
I
it for the
wanna go
cable
see it.
for the
Yeah.
cabling demo
Yeah.
this morning, but the tree was so small there was no need for an ascender. But like if you're on the ground for me, you can have a control that ascender to send me equipment, to send a rescuer, all kinds of up and down on a trolley. And if
Pretty
that's the
wild.
case, when are we going to see that in the rigging world? Another podcast episode.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah, but Husqvarna is doing a great job with battery. The traditional 3, Echo, Husky, still they're smoking them. They're just ahead. And then that brings us to Milwaukee,
Milwaukee.
the
Let's
dark
talk about-
horse candidate. Yeah.
First time they've been at the trade show, TCI trade
First
show.
one. So funny enough, I reached out to to Milwaukee like 2 years ago to ask for a drill for a cabling article, and they never responded to my email.
Damn you, Milwaukee.
Yeah, they didn't respond to my email for a drill.
No.
So anyway, when I reached out to everybody for this article in January, they responded, and I got on a call with them like right away. So they're like, "Hey, we're trying to
the
get into
chainsaw.
for the
Yeah, yeah.
chainsaw. We
Yeah,
want
the
to get
battery
into outdoor
power
power." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was expecting like Makita quality.
It was almost like meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
They're-
cool. So
They're getting in the industry. You're right. They're like, oh,
for
this is
sure,
perfect.
yeah, it was.
Perfect
The
timing.
timing was right. Where
Yeah.
they obviously had the R&D and the research money to push it, and the marketing funds. So they wanted real assessment, and they sent us the top handle, and it was pretty good. It's kind of cumbersome. The ergos aren't great on it, but the power was phenomenal. The run times were phenomenal, and it was just robust.
Mhm.
You could tell it was their first run because there were some things like, oh, okay, well if you would have had 3 years of R&D, that wouldn't have happened. But all the things that were done right in a huge way. So I was like, okay, well, this is fleet ready. So for me, I was like, I would give this to a bunch of meth heads, and they're not going to break it.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep working. You can cut concrete with it, or you can cut trees. It'll work. So that was big for me. It wasn't too weight prohibitive. It was similar to the still.
Yeah.
Same power. Phenomenal runtime though. Yeah. And the best thing, and why the guys in the Northwest like it, no external electronics. It's just got a 3-man dead lever on it. There's no on-off. It's just dead lever, pull the chain brake, you're ready to rip. So way less to go wrong. It's kind of like a Glock if you're a gun guy. It's like, you just can't mess it up.
Yeah.
I don't even clean it. It's disgusting. So it just runs, man.
That's good. That's good. That's especially being new of getting in the industry and having that experience for you guys using it. And a lot of times you'd be like, this is garbage. And may take them 2 steps back, but you're on the right path.
For sure. Well, that was the coolest part. When we did get in a call, 2 weeks in, me and Thomas got in a call with them, and they're like, what do you think? And we told them our issues with it, and they were 100% receptive. They're like, we want to fix it. You want to talk to the product manager? You want to talk to the engineering team?
Wow.
Like, well, yeah, that makes
to be
a lot
able
of
to
sense.
have your hands in a brand like Milwaukee and help redesign and fix the issues. That's cool.
Yeah, and don't hear me saying like, yeah, they took what we said and they just totally changed us all. No, but they wanted to get real world guys in the field, like professionals, enough of those talking to their PM so they can kind of sift through it and find out, okay, what's the consistent trend here?
It's a common issue.
And not just regionally. But like, okay, if the Northwest guys are experiencing this, the Midwest guys are experiencing this, and there's a correlation, let's figure out how to make, curtail our corrections.
Yeah.
And knowing that it takes time. It's going to take 9 months after we give you a review to maybe implement a change. Yeah. It's not overnight.
It's a big ship that has to move.
For sure.
A lot of hands. I mean, they, talking to Jake earlier today was, they have 200 engineers working on this stuff.
207. Jake was
went
wrong.
up. Damn it, Jake.
He was approximately. Yeah. So
207 engineers. You said 2 years ago they had like 6, 7.
Yeah.
He said 8, I think.
They're moving forward with it. The cool thing about Milwaukee, and the one thing that I will say about Milwaukee Saw, is the interface. I mean, you can go pretty much to any Home Depot in America, pick up Milwaukee batteries.
Tractor Supply.
You can't do that with a Husqvarna battery saw.
Are you saying Husqvarna?
Yeah, the Husqvarna.
How do you say Husqvarna?
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna.
You don't say Husqvarna?
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna.
Husqvarni?
How do you say
Husqvarni?
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna. How are we saying it?
You
How
guys
are
are
you
like
saying it?
having a long Husqvarna.
That's how you say it.
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna. Husqvarna. Husqvarna. Depends.
Are we in Nevada?
Depends if I have
He said Milwaukee as well.
Milwaukee.
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 Milwaukee?
Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee or Milwaukee? Thank
Milwaukee.
you, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Husqvarna.
Anyway, sorry, I just couldn't.
I'll leave out a vowel. It's fine.
Now
No,
put in the
don't.
comments, guys. How do you say Milwaukee and
Yeah,
Husqvarna?
there you
Send
go.
us a video.
Apparently none of us are from there.
Okay.
Tag rooted arborists.
Yeah,
Say.
please.
Yeah.
We'll love to be blown up for that. You idiots.
So, all right.
So,
five,
yeah, what do
five
you-
saws. Oh, keep going.
No, that was it. I was just saying
You,
that.
you can
Yeah, it
source
is.
it anywhere.
you can source
It's
it.
easy.
If there's a town of 2,000,
If something goes down,
There's a
boom.
vendor.
You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
just drive down the street
But-
and you're set up.
that batteries, it's the same battery platform for their drills, their blowers,
Yep.
their saws.
That's awesome.
Everything. So
And-
for a small
and their rapid
business,
chargers,
the rapid chargers,
which are pretty cool.
The new batteries, 0 to 80% charge in 15 minutes. So
Ridiculous.
what that means for guy entry, like we're not temping batteries usually either because we are constantly rotating. So for the small business, if I was gonna fleet out 6 crews, now Milwaukee doesn't have, well, none of the battery platforms currently have enough to have a full range yet. Battery will get there, but
Wait,
we're
wait,
not
all
there
right.
yet.
Before you say that, let me say
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Let me give you some scenarios.
Shoot, let's go.
4-man team.
Okay.
4-man team. You got 5 brands here.
Okay.
What do you buy right now?
If I only pick one,
Yeah, you pick
battery
one.
or just in general?
No, the battery. Out of the 5 battery, you're going to outfit your entire team.
Oh.
Or say a 6-man team. You know,
Can-
you got 3
can I-
climbers.
What if I know about stuff for a few of the brands that aren't here yet, that are on the way, or that I've used personally?
If you want to say their name,
You mean to
But-
outfit like the entire?
Yeah,
crew?
like, hey, this is the brand we're bringing in because we
battery.
believe in it. And battery, we know where they're going. This is something I'm buying today with my company under 10 people. How about that?
Okay.
Under 10 people, this is what I'm buying. This is what we're sticking to right now.
None of them.
Okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
There's nothing that's long-term sustainable above 50 cc's currently available. Currently. Caveat. So as of what's the day? The 16th
So
of November.
you're not going to run any batteries on your crew then?
No, I will run back. I thought you were
Alright.
saying the entire range. If we
I'm-
can
I'm just-
only fleet batteries.
No, not only fleet. I'm just
Oh,
talking
okay.
like, okay,
What's available?
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
climber's
That's
house. You know,
another
what,
easy,
for me.
Milwaukee.
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 Yeah.
That's where you use. Guys, we're using Milwaukee.
It's
That's
super easy. Yeah.
okay.
Not
Now-
because like the Husqvarna is the best top handle, but we're talking about cross compatibility.
Across
Yeah.
everything. Okay. Now
Yeah.
you're a company of 250 people out there and
Mm.
crews, up and down the West Coast or East Coast.
Milwaukee. If you have 200 people, if it's hard to source batteries for 6 guys, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a hell of a lot harder to
Yeah.
source guys for 200.
That's true.
And here's the thing.
I have. Let me tell you, Academy sells Husqvarna.
Yeah,
we have some batteries.
Yeah.
Our rep was like, "You better buy batteries. You better buy batteries.
Yep.
They're going to go out." And I'm like, "Are you shitting me? I'm going to buy all these batteries." And so we bought a good amount, believe in,
Didn't have enough.
Yeah.
huh?
Didn't have enough.
No, we didn't. And I mean, but we didn't sell a lot of these yet, so we still have them. But it was, I like hey, I can go to Home Depot and
Yeah.
pick up a battery.
You got to be realistic.
Yeah.
So I love Husqvarna. I work with them a lot. It's just they're getting better. COVID kicked their butt. Logistically, it was tough.
Yeah.
The thing about Milwaukee, or say DeWalt, even if it wasn't, if it was DeWalt decided to push for it, these are companies that their whole brand is based on making quality batteries. They can have any engineer, whether it's a Husqvarna guy, a Steel guy, or Milwaukee, they can build us all around the battery. It's the power plant. So if we know that they kick everybody's ass in battery, it just makes sense. They're there. It's the same battery for every single industry that they serve. It's the same power plant. So they just have to design a tool around it. That's all it is.
Mhm.
The tool, even if the tool is not as good, the best ability is availability. I can't, if I have an Axe 19 that's having electrical issues all the time, that chipper is no good to me. I got to have something in the field every day. I can't afford downtime.
Yeah. Zero
Cannot
downtime.
do it.
Yeah.
I can't afford to be replacing stuff all the time because the guy used the chainsaw as a wheel chalk, or he threw it 85 feet like I did the other day on accident. Now the saw bounced. He put a battery and bar oil in it, sent it back up, and I finished the tree. It's in a I'm 80. That's not a lie.
What saw was
85
that?
feet. It was a Milwaukee.
85 feet.
Well, I mean,
It was
if
pretty
it weighs
close
that
to-
much, it better be tough. You know? I know we got to work on the weight there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's logistics. And the other thing, because we're small, and this would apply to a big company too. Like it's either the great big, or the small. We're kind of in a similar situation.
Yeah.
We're too small to have a full-time mechanic, so we're either stuff we can attend to ourselves. We do on our as owners on our Saturday nights, or we have to outsource it. If we can do it ourselves, well, if we have the same tool line for our maintenance tools and our landscaping tools and our outdoor power tools and our cabling specialty linemen, whatever it is, if it's all the same platform, it's freaking easy. If I'm a great big company and I know Milwaukee is going to offer giant discounts for someone that's outfitting, $2 million of a purchase, I want to go with the fleet. Just like Asplund or Wright, all these major companies that are buying chippers, they don't care which one's better between a Bandit or a Vermeer. Who's going to give them the best deal and the best service life? Because they're buying in bulk.
Say that again.
Best deal, best service life.
Simple.
If you have 40 people,
And buying wool.
you're gonna. It's a little different because
Yeah.
now you're kind of at that you're at that $10 to $15 million mark maybe of annual sales. You want to pick what's going to make the guys are going to want, and you're working all those, but you're not a big name in the industry yet, where somebody like Still or Husqvarna or Milwaukee is going to curtail to you.
Yeah. Especially
not.
when you're new getting in the industry like
Right.
Milwaukee.
So if you're really small, you got to find which one's going to keep you in the field. If you're really big, who's going to do the best to make sure your stuff doesn't come out of the field? And that's vital. So from the R&D, that's when I talk to guys, they ask, why can you guys R&D? You have less than 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. We're not social media people. We just know what the industry needs.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not what we want.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to say that. That's the only way you can be credible as an R&D guy.
Good stuff,
is
man.
to say the real stuff.
Good stuff. I mean, for you guys to write an article, do R&D on all these different products, and at the end, you have a new company. Oh, not a new company.
2 years,
New
yeah,
product
relatively new company.
into this industry, and they're your number one pick. Hats off. That's off
Some of
Milwaukee.
it's what you said though. Like, we know where they're at now. Where
Yeah.
we're projecting. So maybe part of it's a gamble. We're assuming because they have the budget and the manpower that it'll be there. So is it a gamble? Maybe. But if their first crack was good,
Yeah.
is crack 2 going to be better than the best that's available?
Sometime the third crack is good.
So
You gotta like crack.
That's where
More crack.
I'm more of a meth guy.
More of a meth guy.
Tip most street guys.
I prefer meth, not crack as
Yeah.
much.
For
This
sure.
is good stuff, guys. Man, I want to have you guys on every time you do an article, things like
do it.
this, because this
do it.
was one of the best podcasts we had in a long time. No offense to everybody else, but this
Pay
was
the
some
fee.
good. You guys
That's right.
did the research. You
Yeah.
did the time. You put in all this to be able to deliver that, and I appreciate that because nobody paid you for that. You got some free saws that broke, that you hate, that you got mad, that slowed down your production, but you did this
Yeah.
so you can get this information. So
Sure.
I'm glad you guys are using this platform, using the TCIA
appreciate
to
that.
get this out. Thanks, man. Really. Thanks.
Hey, real quick question. It was awesome beyond. Next year, we're looking for our next project. Last year was chainsaw pants for climbers. Worked with everybody. This year was chainsaw or battery chainsaw. Do you have any suggestions? What does the industry need to do, or what trends are you seeing becoming a big focal point?
Hey, this
Something
is
for
my
us to tackle
podcast.
next
I ask the
year.
questions. You don't ask the questions.
You have a lot of guys come through here.
Yeah, that's
No,
what-
say that. Say that again.
You're the best informed.
We're looking for the next year's. We write several articles a year, but we have one primary, a big one that we work on every year that launches.
a project.
So last
whether
year,
it's
yeah.
saws or pants or
You know, that'd be something I'd like to. I need to chat with Jared on. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
He's definitely in the mix on all this a lot more than I am on this and utilizing the products on a daily basis. So you'd probably have better input on saying, "Hey guys, you want to do it? This is what I've been wondering forever." You know, and Jared's he's a visionary. He's a thinker. I mean, he's always creating, always building. And he has stuff he hasn't got to yet that if somebody else wants to take it on, he would love to probably share that with you. So I'll save it for him to come up with
I'll
something.
be curious to hear what you guys come up with because
Yeah.
it's easy to find a topic. It's hard to find an industry transition, and that's what we're looking to do year by year.
I would probably say, you know, what's the best podcast out there in the industry? Maybe that's your study.
Yeah. Two Tree Guys
Tree Guys.
podcast.
Oh, done.
Yeah,
Research done. Article.
Hey.
Two Tree Guys.
Oh,
The
man,
end.
I've been listening a long
Hey,
time.
I get paid by the words.
I love it. Love it. Give you $5.
Hey, there you go. I appreciate it.
No, but I
though.
appreciate you guys coming on the show, sharing, being honest, no bullshit approach to what you guys found out and what you like. And guys, listen to Tom and Andy. It's Milwaukee, or like you put it, Milwaukee. How you say
Hey,
Milwaukee?
Miller.
Milwaukee
stuff.
for
Yeah.
that. But guys, hey, go follow these guys. Rooted Arborist on Instagram. Type in Rooted Arborist. Follow them, tag them. If you guys have any questions or things that you guys want to hear, man, DM them. Send them a
Yep.
message. You know, let them know what you're thinking on there. Maybe I'll post a little article on Two Tree Guys Instagram, so
Sure.
you're going to
Cool
see
beans.
everybody's response on there. So
Good.
send me the question. I'll put it on there, and let's see what the industry
sure.
wants to hear for next year for you guys in the article, and giving some input. And that might be part of your R&D to hearing from these guys.
Yeah.
You've got a decent platform that can, you know, speak back to
Well,
you.
it's guys that are invested in the in industry, invested in the industry. So those
Yeah.
are the guys we want to hear from.
Yeah.
And real quick, if you want to take a deeper dive into this topic, November issue of TCI Magazine is where this story ran.
Okay.
It's a little more PC.
Yeah.
There was no favorites played. It was just an industry progression piece. But you'll see more insight as to why we address this and really where the industry is going legislatively. And that's what's really driving all of this.
All right. Now, guys, I'm going to end this show, but who's really going to end it? Mr. Andy is going to end it with his jingle. Okay? Yeah, I didn't forget
What
it.
was the topic about? So I remember which one. I have a
We were
category.
talking about a jingle. You're like, oh, I got a jingle for the tree care guys or something, or products or something like that.
Up and coming.
You said you had a good jingle
did.
to share.
You said
Oh,
if they had
that
the nuts
one.
to share it.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. I'm going to end this show, guys, but you're going to end it at the end, and then when it's done, it's done. We're
Yeah,
pleased
we're
by.
gonna
So,
say that. You
guys,
ready?
listen, you know the fee, pay the fee, share the show. This was good information, really good information. You just sold probably $5 million of saws from Milwaukee. So we're
did.
excited for the commission check we're all
Yeah.
getting.
Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Commission.
thank you. that's out there. Steel,
Oh, man.
Echo, Husqvarna, Milwaukee. Everybody, get your shit together. Bring new products to us so we can
That's
put it on the show. But I appreciate you guys being on here, being
Thanks,
honest,
Phil.
and putting it out there. And remember, guys, to continue to elevate the standard of our industry through safety, through training, through innovation. Jingle.
Red is the new orange.